Hello, everyone. Hello, friends of Komodo platform, friends of crypto, price charts, technical analysis. Hello, one and all. Welcome. I'm E. Giuliano. It's 18th August, 2021. Ooh-wee. These past couple days have been on the downturn, should we say. Yeah, we're here for some price charts. So if you like that action, I don't mean if you like the price action, maybe you do, maybe you don't. But thanks for hitting the like button and making comments. Yeah, I hope this is of value to you. I'm going to come through here. We're just going to look at the Komodo price charts today in this video. I'll do Pirate Chain price charts later. And if you have any other requests or anything else, let me know in the comments. Always happy to look at other price charts. You know, friends of price charts, any price charts. It's always fun. But of course, there is here a focus on Komodo platform and soon expanding to other communities within and around Komodo platform, and of course anything else that you might request. Okay, Bitcoin getting rejected by that 20 period average. Now we're coming up to the cloud of Ichimoku on this 4-hour price chart. You see it? So it looks like there's a good chance we're going to be testing the cloud. Other than that, if we're looking at patterns here, looks like we're getting a flat pattern in this 4-hour price frame. So I'm going to zoom in a bit. Now I said this is a Komodo platform chart, but I just want to set it up by looking at the BTC price chart. So we'll mainly be looking at a 4-hour price chart. Alrighty. Now we actually either are going to go for another leg or we finished down here and we're just making our final movements before we take a new position here, maybe a bit more sideways or something like that, maybe coming back to retest the 20 period average. But the reason it's a flat pattern, I'm imagining here's the top, okay, of this previous wave up, top, a correction down, correction up, because this correction up is because the bigger local trend is down. So correction up, so this correction down is really based on this previous trend, but now we're like, okay, lower high. And even then it could have been a higher high, but it's a type of a flat pattern here as we start to make lower prices and eventually we're breaking down. So what are we looking at here? We're looking at, like I was saying, something like this. Okay, so maybe that's what we're getting. In which case, let's see, if we're looking for that, then we're looking at, for example, a 3, and a 5. So that's why I'm thinking maybe we're going to get one more bump down. It could be even a longer one, but when we start taking the tools here, the Fibonacci retracement tool, sorry, because a flat pattern, okay, is going to be retrace. Oops, that's the time. I don't want time right now. I'm going to go there. The flat pattern is, I'm going to just take it from these bodies here just to be general, and it retraces more than 80%. So definitely, like this was a 1-to-1 retracement. If we're taking the wicks, not quite 1-to-1, but significant enough that it's easily considered a flat pattern. Then we'll retrace the B wave. So we go to the beginning of the B wave to the end of the B wave roughly. And we come, if we go wick to wick, we might have a bit more room for the 1618, but generally the 1382 is, and that's why I have it here, is also a significant, how do you say, ending point for this type of pattern. So if it's just a normal flat pattern, you know, kind of regular flat pattern, we could be finishing it off here. And this could be actually a retest of this low. We could be currently retesting the previous low. So that's one idea. We might be just about done this move on this 4-hour price chart. However, maybe, you know, when we start looking at longer time frames, maybe it's just part of a bigger move. that goes sideways or even a bit more down. Maybe this is just if this whole move up is starting to get invalidated and we're going to really move below this cloud, we start getting into precarious scenario. And then this could just be the beginning of a bigger pattern. This could be we could be making a flat pattern on a bigger scale if that's the case. But overall, like when you start looking at RSI, we can remove this divergence trend line now and just follow our eyes over here and see, okay, well, actually, there's a chance that we might be continuing with the overall trend, which was up. Of course, so once again, as usual, we're at a point where it matters. Either it's going to, go that way, or it's going to go that way. And if it goes that way, well, definitely not as strong. Definitely not as strong. Okay. So that's the idea. Now with the KMD price chart, we're saying, okay, so same idea, especially we look USDT, for example. So when we look at the USDT price chart in the KMD, we start to say, all right, we're back at these dollar levels here, this very important level to hold. And I think that that's what's happening right now is we had these previous levels, dollar, good support here, resistance here, resistance, support, resistance here. We're at a point where we broke out of the price of $1 all the way to $1.30. We couldn't get into that box, but we hit, and now we're back down to retest that dollar level. This is a very important level for the KMD USDT, and it's going to hinge on the Bitcoin price, most likely. But here's what I'm liking. Here are a couple of scenarios that makes me feel bullish on this right now. No, and then of course there's some things that makes me feel bearish. So it's once again, it's just this indecision place. It's an unclear time. What I don't like is that we've spent a lot of time in the positive momentum, and there is room for negative momentum. However, maybe it's just going to be relatively negative, and it's just going to be, actually, since it's a lagging indicator, maybe it's just going to show the lagging momentum, but we'll already be moving back into strength. That's a possibility. Now, what am I thinking here? Well, the RSI also has, potential to go back up, and maybe it doesn't go as high and the price goes higher or whatever, right? We can always build divergences or other things like that. Now this again is this is a daily price chart. That's why we're looking at such a steep decline with no alternation really. But that's one thing I wanted to pay attention to here on this daily price chart. If we're looking at this as potentially some sort of Elliott type of wave, right? An impulsive type of Elliott wave. Wow, this would be lovely. This would be nice. Okay, if that's what we need to get, that's what we can get. Whoops. However, the reason being is that this second wave here takes more time and it has more subdivisions and is more severe. So if we're looking for some alternation, this takes less time. It's not as severe, and it is it's not as doesn't have as many subdivisions. It's just basically down comparatively. Okay, here's another thing to recognize. If we are taking just wanted to recognize here. Let's say we take our wicks into consideration. We got roughly 1-to-1 on the move, just a bit more than that. So what I'm hoping for, what I'm thinking is that maybe either this is not even the entire third wave, like we might just be coming up to here for a third wave. It might not be what I previously drew. We could be something like this, all right, from before, and then make whatever, maybe it's going to be a longer correction. Who knows? Okay, so that's also a possibility. meaning this is just an intermediate retracement within a bigger wave. Cool. So either we hit the top of the 3 or, and which doesn't, I mean, it could be, and this could be the 5th, whatever. Anyway, doesn't matter, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and this a 5, whatever. It doesn't, I'm not too concerned with that. What I also want to recognize here is if we are looking at a retracement right now from the bottom to the top of this wave, we're looking at the 382. So this is a strong place to rebound. So if we are bullish, look for this place to be a bottoming level, which would make sense. This is a key turning point, dollar level. And you know, yeah, I mean, if it's going to turn, it's going to turn here. If it's going to be weak, this is a place where it's going to show weakness. It just makes sense. A dollar, if it's, you know, just the fact of breaking and not being able to hold the dollar is weakness. Breaking to the downside, I mean, breaking up to the upside on the dollar and then retesting it and then going further higher with support at that dollar level is uber bullish. Okay, so that's the idea on the daily price chart with KMD. So we start moving in more closely and say, okay, what are we dealing with? What type of situation might we be dealing with? And I'm seeing here couple of ideas. Firstly, we're challenging that lower Bollinger Band. So we are in the impulsive move now to the downside. So it's most likely, whether this is a zigzag or a flat, we can test it out, but zigzag or flat, we are in that impulse portion of the C wave. Okay, the C wave is more of an impulse portion. Well, on a zigzag, the A wave is also impulsive to the downside. On a flat, it's more of like a 3. It goes 3, 3, 5. So let's just first here retrace and say, okay, yeah, we could say, you know, Komodo loves to hang out as a weak flat or, you know, a nebulous zigzag. So I'm going to give this neither flat nor zigzag. We can look at both options. What we'll do to do that is we'll take the extension tool, top to bottom, back to top, and we see, wow, okay, we are very close to the 1618. So even then, like we are close. So what's happening now? Maybe we get some support here. We retrace back up and then make a final move down. But now we're starting to get into a dangerous territory at the cloud region. So what, is it going to bounce off the cloud again and go back up? Maybe. If it starts breaking down the cloud, then I'm more worried about the more macro level of things, because if we are already going back down to, you know, and the BTC chart is really dumping and all of that, then we're not in a good situation at all. And that's possible. Okay, recognize that things can turn on the dime. So that's the first consideration. We're at this Ichimoku cloud area. Maybe this is that support I've mentioned before that it could come in handy. Well, even if I didn't mention it, recognize that the Ichimoku cloud is always a level that gets sought out by the price at some point. So either as support or resistance. Now, I wanted to take the retracement. Let's say we're going to retrace this move here. Boom. All right. So we already retraced that quite a long ways. Okay. Now, we don't really see an actual 5-wave pattern here. So maybe it's just this, it's actually a big zigzag, and we're playing it out on smaller time scales. And here is just showing the final C wave here, and we're getting our bounce. I mean, that's what I'm hoping for. That's what's feeling and looking quite likely. But then again, we might be needing to clear out the RSI more. You know, of course, it's a lagging indicator, but they kind of play around with each other. And here, yeah, we look like we're coming towards the end of the negative momentum. So I don't think that we're going to go much lower than this in the 30s. We really dumped down quite quickly. I think we're good here. I really do. I feel like this is another shakeout. It's another, you know, it's relative to this wave. I'm feeling decent about it. I hope you are too. It's interesting what we're looking at here. It's not unexpected. What will be unexpected more so is if we do break below these levels and you know, just can't in a sustained way. I mean, we might break down and then go right up and it's fake everyone out. Okay, fine, but it's doubtful. The other thing is we're not if we're going to continue this rally, we need to stay above this level of about 95 cents, which when we look at the candles, we're already seeing that the price is playing within the candle region here on this side here. So already we're in some weak territory, but again, the other idea is maybe the bigger move here is not an impulse move. Maybe it's just a type of intermediate wave, you know, that has a different formation or something else going on. But it's hard to say that. It's hard to say that. If we look here, in fact, what it feels like is that it by the looks of it, this wave hasn't, on the 4-hour time frame, hasn't quite taken off yet into a like a parabolic top as much. I mean, you could argue that it did over here, you know, towards the end here, that it does get parabolic, fine, but as a bigger structure, it just doesn't have that same vertical look to it. So again, maybe overall the whole market is failing here at these levels, wherever they are, but that's not what we're seeing. So yeah, we still have, you know, fundamental reasons why people will be grabbing up more KMD in the coming week. So that's that idea. Yeah, so far, I do still think, and of course I've been wrong enough times, and none of this is financial advice in any way, but I do think that if this price is coming and playing in at this level, maybe, like I said, this is not even the top of this third wave, possibly. Maybe our top is around the $1.75, $1.80 level, whatever. Okay, well, that makes more sense. That would look more proportional if we are playing into something even bigger, something that eventually gets us, something that eventually gets us up to the $2 level, maybe even like more likely like the $2.50 to $3 level. All right. Yeah. Okay. So, well, let's just make sure. Let me just reframe that. What are we saying? Yeah, $2.50 to $3 level. Okay, and beyond is the idea, but yeah, that makes sense for the move. If that's what we're getting, if we're going to get a series, you know, where we went up and then we came down and then we go up, but maybe we don't go up as high, and then we come down, but maybe we don't go down as low. That would be ideal. The other option is if we can go higher than we did before. That's the better option. Now, this is the USDT chart, so that is much more likely than what could happen with the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin chart, I actually, long term, I think you know my stance by now. Again, none of this financial advice, but long term, I do believe that the KMD BTC price will be heavily in the favor of BTC based on the current levels where it's at. I mean, I see this as quite a significant double topping. Imagine we went all this way up, crashed down, make it back up to this top, and boy, we need to stay up here. Otherwise, we're coming down further. And we're reaching that Ichimoku cloud. We're going to possibly, hopefully, anticipate that we would test it for support. And our anticipation, our hope is that we're going to break down and break through it eventually. So that's that. The other option, of course, being that BTC against all or most alts, including KMD, will always marginally, in the long run, go up, so that you know, the price, well, it's hard to say. I think I'll leave this for a different video, but this is a KMD BTC. It's a different reference. it's a different reference. And I can see a world where things just fluctuate against BTC a bit more like a Forex style. And long term, does it go up? Does it go down? It'll be very, very long term. So, and in that case, we're very early on. We're very early on. This is going to be a couple, 2-3 generations bringing this technology to the forefront and part of daily lives and all of that. So now, having said that, let's get back into this chart. This is the weekly price chart, and on the MACD, it's showing really like we are very close to breaking into positive momentum, but nothing's guaranteed, right? Okay, so we get a little closer on that weekly time frame. Boom. Okay. Now, you want to zoom in to this week candle. You go to the daily price chart. Boom. Okay. Well, isn't that interesting? What looked like a great, incredible support, but it kept us above that Bollinger Band, and we needed strength after that. Couldn't find it. Came crashing down through that that zone we at least wanted to hold as support, did not hold. So where are those levels again? Well, here's that line again, 2200, 2250. So I'm gonna bring it back. Bring it back. Let's see, which one is this? Nope, that's too high. Oh, that's where we were talking about in the zone. No, and that's not there either. So we get to bring in a line here, horizontal trend line, and that's where we needed to give that support. Really, it's around here. So I'm just going to put it there. I'm going to change the color. We are going to make it purple, like that. Okay, so this purple line here that you can't see very well maybe is going to be changed to that red color line. That's fine. So yeah, we need to basically hold this area of support. And if you notice, it's confluencing with the 20-day moving average Bollinger Band. We'll hold strength with these Bollinger Bands if we can hold support at the 20-day. I also want to recognize that since we made the previous top, we've only tested the band, come back down. We held decent support around the 20-day, but it wasn't super strong. And we made a couple of impulsive moves up beyond the Bollinger Band. Is there room for one more, or are we going to be able to continue higher? The support at the 20 period average is going to determine that. That's what you want to watch for. So basically, this 2200 level is a key level for us. Okay, so watch for that to hold support. We have finally, I'll go on to the smaller term time frame. Let's take the 4-hour time frame. Boy, oh boy. Here we have a much more obvious looking zigzag pattern. Okay, again, we're into the cloud. This is where we need support. Notice how the, the line is right there, but really we would like to keep it at about a 2250 level, especially if the BTC prices are what they are. Now, again, if BTC starts rocketing up in USD price, we could definitely continue to fall back down. And we're wondering, are we ever going to come back down to this trend line, this white trend line that has previously been support? Well, now the next question is, are we going to come back to our previously purple, now peach trend line? Are we, or are we not? So that's a good question. And at today's levels, well, we would really want to hold support at the 200 period average, which is around 2000. But even then, if it were to dump the whole way down today, it would be a 2000 Satoshi support price, which is needed, but it would be better if we can catch that support higher in the 21s, but if not, better yet in the 2200 Satoshi level. That's what we're looking for. Let us come a little bit closer and Okay, for now, we can get rid of this trend line we've broken through. I'm going to check out what type of retracements we've done. Boom, 618 retracement from the previous degree of low to the high. Now we are hitting the 618. We need this support. We need this support at this level. Don't need absolutely, because we could come to the 786 level here. Okay, which is around the like I said, 2000. Here is about 2050, 2060. Fine. But yeah, you see what I'm saying though? This is definitely an important level. I'm glad I can bring this to you. Now, if we take it back to the beginning of the whole move, we are only a 50% move. So there is definitely room to come back to that that level down here, let's say, is around the 2100, you know, and you would still consider yourself as a 61.8, depending what the bigger move is. However, like I said before, you know, when we look at alternations, we look at ups and downs, ups and downs, ups and downs, and I do like the alternation here between this and between this and that. Those two corrections alternate decently. I can accept that. We can use that as a notion to say everything is fine here. We went up, we came down, we went up, we're coming down again, but there is room for more. There is room for more. When I look at this, I see these two waves here are 1 degree smaller than this big wave here. This big wave here is 1 degree bigger than each of these waves. But together, these two waves are part of the same degree as this wave here. And in my opinion, all of these together, for example, this whole wave here is the same degree as whatever we're going to be making next. Okay, what is that? Maybe it's going to be a consolidation move and then up move. That's what, you know, that's what it might be. Fine, or whatever it is going to be. I think it's, you know, I'm talking about degree, and so we are still just making small moves relative to the bigger degrees, right? That's the other thing I wanted to point out. And just like with the USDT price chart, we're looking to maintain some sort of uptrend. Like this is basically it. Is this current crypto uptrend, is it going to continue or is it coming to an end? That's for the time being, and we're going into again a bear zone. In which case, then we'd be in real trouble. Now on the daily price chart, we're still in plenty of room to go into overbought territory. I haven't even hit overbought territory since back in April at the previous top. So again, this gives me reason to believe we still have moves to make, room to go. We have some targets, and good luck to everyone. I think we can hit them, but I do think it will take a bit of time. We're looking at towards the end of the year or into the beginning of the next year. If we're talking degree, right? If we're talking degree, now we'll bring in the time. We'll bring in the fib time, okay? And we say this is a daily price chart. We could use the weekly, and we've done these things before, but anyway. So let's take the fib. Let's take the fib time. That's that one. And we'll go from here to the top. Interesting. So if the corrective move or the type of like down and sideways move is going to take twice as long as the impulsive move, then we're talking about October, which is a similar to last year. And I do get the sense that we will have an up move, okay, until roughly the end of the month. I do get a sense that September will be a weak month relatively. and could be. And then we move into the last quarter of the year, and I think things light up on fire. I think that would be lovely, and that's kind of the game plan, the play so far. That's generally the idea. So that's that one idea. The next idea is if we were to take the whole move. Well, again, yeah, we don't know if this down move is even complete. The down move might, just because we're higher than the lowest low doesn't mean doesn't mean we're finished that down pattern. Okay, the cycle there. So I just wanted to check if we take the whole cycle, should give something similar. Let's say though we go low to low, low to low. Okay. Yeah, once again, we see some sort of interesting stuff mid to end of October. It might lag a bit, that 1618 area. And then, wow, definitely around the December time, I think we are gonna, beginning of the year type of stuff. We could see reminiscence of 4 years ago, Whew, this is exciting. I do see that on a bigger scale even. Oh boy, this could be something grand, and I think that's why we're all here. So if you are here watching this video and you've paid attention this whole time and you're still here, I really appreciate you very much. I hope you got some sort of enjoyment or something to think about from there. We are still so in early days. This is nearly a whole year right here. Okay, and yeah, it just feels so early. This is 2024 over here. Okay, a couple years away. I wonder what's going to happen in this intervening time over here. Yeah, blank slate. Let's see how it writes itself out. All right, I'm done for now. I thank you. I hope this was helpful for you. And let's see where the KMD price goes over the next day or two. Let's see how it plays out. Okay, coming back later with some R price charts for all you pirates out there. All right, until next time, love, peace, and happiness. Goodbye.